What the hell is going on, everybody? Blog Topics back at it again with another project review, and today we're going to talk about one of the most promising projects in the crypto space, in my opinion. So guys, before we start this video, before we dive into my research, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to my channel of course, and hit the notification bell to not miss out on any upcoming videos, guys. So now let's dive right into zkSync. To make it short, zkSync is a layer 2 scaling protocol on top of Ethereum, which helps the project on Ethereum to maximize their transaction throughput. And before we start talking about zkSync in particular, I need to show you something. So guys, before we make a deep dive into zkSync, it's important to know the two options we have at the moment, or at least the two most favored options we have at the moment for scaling Ethereum. And one of them is validity proofs, also called zk rollups, or fraud proofs, optimistic rollups. And you maybe know Arbitrum or Optimism. Those gained a lot of attention in the last couple of years, and they also have blown up by a lot with over $1 billion in market cap, and they claim to be future proof. I won't get into too much technical detail when explaining those two, but it's important to understand. Yeah, fraud proofs, optimistic rollups, they have a higher transaction throughput, but they have a weak time in finality. It takes you over 1 week to withdraw your funds back to Ethereum. And the reason why it is as it is because proofs are not instantly checked on integrity, because they assume a general innocence. That's why they are called optimistic rollups, optimistic proofs. But after the proofs are published, the nodes, the participants in the network, have a time window of 1 week to still find fraudulent proofs, to find fraudulent transactions, and that's why finality takes over a week. On the other hand, validity proofs, as I said, they have less transaction throughput, but they have a finality time of 10 minutes, which to me is a game changer in the crypto space. Yeah, so I'm definitely on the side of zero knowledge. Also, maybe to understand on-chain, off-chain data, there's also trade-off. On-chain data, of course, more security, less transaction throughput. Off-chain data, less security, more transaction throughput. Also, Starks and Snarks. Here the difference is Snarks use elliptic curve to produce those proofs, while Starks use hash algorithms, which also hash algorithms cost more in computation, but are faster to prove. So more transaction throughput. And Snarks, they are cheaper since they use the elliptic curve algorithm with less computation and a little less throughput. So there's always a trade-off when talking about the architecture. Here's a little picture. Examples of zero knowledge layer 2s using different architecture. We have zkSync, our topic of today here, zkSync 2, and we have also StarkX here. I made a video about StarkX. You should definitely jump into the video after this one, because StarkX is like the biggest competitor for zkSync, and the only difference is the Snark versus Stark, as I just explained before. I think StarkX or general Starkware is more for institutional purposes. As a permission layer 2, it's fantastic. And there's also trade-off in the programming language they use, because they use they use Cairo. Starkware uses Cairo, and zkSync is the first protocol which made it possible to be EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, compatible, and they are able to use Solidity and Viper programming language. So yeah, that's fantastic. This is a game changer for crypto for sure. So let's get back to zkSync. Ingredients, 5 magical. It's taken 4 long years, but zkSync 2.0 is now on mainnet, rapidly moving toward a full gated release. So zkSync 1 was just about less transaction, more scalability. zkSync 2.0 brings smart contracts. And they are talking about 5 magical ingredients. General purpose, it definitely is. EVM compatible, what I said before, supports Solidity, which is great because we have a lot of people already developing in Solidity, while, for example, Starkware uses Cairo, which is not that good because not many developers are already using Cairo. But maybe in the future there will be gas in Ethereum, but not only in Ethereum. You can use but there's a list of ERC20 tokens you can use for paying your gas, which is also a game changer in my opinion. Yeah, also open source, of course, open source. abilities, 3 unique. zkSync supports account abstraction. Account abstraction is hard to explain, but it's like a smart contract in your wallet, and it's like the new generation of wallets. And also Vitalik Buterin is a great fan of account abstraction. So yeah, let's continue. Solidity and Viper, as I said before, and is built with an LLVM compiler that will one day give us the ability to tap into the power of other programming libraries written in Rust, C++, and Swift. More programming languages. Yeah. Let's keep moving. Public roadmap. There's a public roadmap, but I want to show you guys the public roadmap here. 100 days to mainnet. This was published in July 2022. As far as I know, 100 days until mainnet. This is the roadmap, and at the moment, guys, we are already at Baby Alpha. Mainnet has launched in November. And first, let's read the editor's note. On December the 13th, 2022, we publicly updated our roadmap to make room for ongoing security audits. Security audits of the mainnet. There are no project on the mainnet. For now, it's like a mainnet testnet. We now expect to reach our fair onboarding alpha milestone in Q1 2023 and fair launch alpha milestone in Q2 2023. We will get to that a little later. First, EVM compatible CK rollup. As I mentioned before, the value of Ethereum's trustless security. So it still uses or relies on Ethereum security, which and decentralization, which is incredible, and still is able to scale. The power of being fully open source, scaling without degrading security or decentralization. zkSync is EVM and Web3 compatible. We support Solidity and Viper, permanently future-proof. zkSync 3.0 is coming sooner than you may think. We will talk about it later as well, but zkSync 3.0 are the hyperchains and hyperbridges, which make scalability work to a higher level. Like scalability has no limit with 3.0. At least they claim it will have no limit. There's not much to find about it for now. Yeah. Earlier this year, we launched zkSync 2.0 on a public testnet, the first ever CK EVM implementation. July 2022, support for all the versions of tools, so developers don't need to upgrade to use zkSync 2.0. Solidity support, Viper support. Fantastic. And now in November, we had Baby Alpha, as I told you before, launched to mainnet at first with no external project, where we are putting the system through a series of real money stress tests that will help us verify the production system in working correctly and performing as expected. As I told you, it's a mainnet, but it's like a testnet. They have third-party auditing, which I think is fantastic. They are really working hard to make this a working project, and they have so many projects in the pipeline, so at least in their ecosystem already, so it really has to work. A lot of people rely on their services already. Yeah, so Q1 we will have the fair launch offer. They will welcome all of our ecosystem projects at once, which will be one of the largest layer 2, if not, I think they claim it is the largest layer 2 launch ever in crypto history we have ever seen. So I'm really hyped for that. And Q2 2023 full alpha zkSync 2.0 alpha is live. Expanded bridging and announcement of bridge partners. zkSync 3.0 updates. So that's the timing. We will see those hyper bridges, hyper chains with limitless scalability, guys. So let's get back to zkSync. The big bang when zkSync, the largest layer 2 launch in the history of crypto, as I just told you before, the biggest launch. This is a part of the ecosystem. We have Argent, the wallet I already talked about when I talked about Starkware, also the #1 wallet for Starkware. Fantastic project. Have a look at this one. Frax Finance is one of my most, actually is probably my favorite project. It's a stablecoin and partially algorithmic stablecoin, and it's incredible, guys. You really should have a look at this one. We know Uniswap, we know SushiSwap, Orbiter, Maker, Zigzag, Block Wallet, 1inch, Binance Wallets, all of them. So they have a fantastic ecosystem. Let me check Here are many different projects. Here is the total ecosystem of zkSync, and there are a lot of new projects and projects we already know. You should definitely have a look at this site at ecosystem.zkSync.io, and you can pick your winners here. And I think it's a great idea to invest in the winning products here, because they are future proof, at least the zkSync claims. So let's get back to zkSync. To infinity and beyond, those are the layers: Ethereum, layer 1, the base chain, zkSync 1.0 and 2.0, and we have layer 3 hyperchain, which is zkSync 3.0, hyperchain, hyperbridges, zk rollups, and zk porters. And those are two options of accounts zkSync gives you as a user. zk Porter, there's a little trade-off between those two, because zk Porter, it's even less fees to pay, but you have to rely on the security of the stakers and not on Ethereum. So that's the trade-off between those two. Also really interesting to dive in. Depends on if you want more security or less fees to pay. Yeah, also really interesting. Also, let's look at, here is a comparison between some protocols. General purpose, all are for general purpose. I think Starkware is more institutional purpose, at least in my opinion. Easy to port, of course, no. Starkware uses Cairo, and it's not easy to port. Native Solidity, no, it's not. Everything else is native Solidity. Account abstraction, as I told you before, Starkware also has account abstraction, which means a smart contract in a wallet, which is the new generation of wallet, the new version of wallets. Fully open source. Starkware actually, I think, is fully open source, to be honest. At least the StarkNet version, not the StarkX version. Gas in Ethereum, mainnet life. Okay, so that's the comparison. Let's talk about the funding. 458 million in funding, and this, guys, is a number we haven't seen that often in the crypto space. Let me show you an example. Those are the biggest, the projects with the biggest funding rounds, and 555 million. There, it would be number 7 in the most funded projects ever. So it's, yeah, so it definitely has is backed by huge venture capital companies and has a lot of money to grow. And we can see a lot of big names here: Ethereum Foundation, Bybit, Crypto.com, Coinbase Ventures, Coin Fund. I think they also were backed by Alameda and Three Arrows Capital, but they, of course, they they removed those from here because it's not good to show them anymore. So so yeah, let's have a look on here. The Twitter account has 600,000 followers, so they definitely have the attention of the crypto space already. Also, let's have a look at Matter Labs. Matter Labs is the company behind zkSync, and it was founded in 2019 by a fantastic team, at least in my opinion. You can see the team here, Matter Labs team. Those are the people to watch, and especially Alex Gurkovsky. He is, I've already opened his LinkedIn page here. He definitely is a guy to watch. I've watched some interviews of him, and he's a really humble guy. He has a software developer background since 2003, so 19 years of experience in this space, and I think he's a guy, he knows what he's talking about, and I recommend you guys, you should definitely watch some interviews of him to get to know him, to understand how he's thinking and how he is leading this project. And not only he has experience in software developing, but he often was a big brain in the companies he had worked for, so he, in my opinion, he could definitely set a milestone for the whole crypto space. And guys, let's just talk about the token as the last step. No token has been announced so far, but the community thinks there will be a token in early 2023. At least it will be announced in early 2023 with the mainnet alpha launch. And at the moment you can participate in the airdrop. Same as Aptos, for example. You can use the network already with test tokens, test coins, and participate in the possible airdrop we will see in 2023. So guys, if you want to see me making a video of how to participate in this airdrop, write it in the comments, guys, and leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. And if you have not seen so far, I have 2 different videos about Starkware, the biggest competitor, and about the Mina protocol. Mina protocol, also zero knowledge protocol, and it's the lightest blockchain there is. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and I see you guys soon.